April is the month of the military child, and our guest, Julie Marie Rahm, was born as a military child. Now, I'm not going to say military brat here because you don't like that, and I don't either. You were born into a military family. You're involved in a military family now, and you help military kids with the emotions, not only if a spouse or if a parent is deployed, but just being a military kid, right? It's a passion of yours, isn't it?
It is my passion,
It is.
Phil.
I can tell.
And thank you. Thank you for not using the word brat.
I won't do that.
I really hate
won't do that. No, I'm glad to have you on the program. And this hour is rebroadcast at 5 and 11 on CTV10, our home base, and 94.1 will rejoin us at 4 minutes after. While we're TV only, you've got a Military Kids Speak book that you have written. This is available. The book, you might hold that up. The book is available at Mitchell Hardware, huh?
It is. Mitchell's has signed copies of the book, and
Good.
we're going to do on May 13th during the Art Walk, we're going to have a book signing going on at Mitchell's.
Okay, so you will be at Mitchell's May 13, book
will.
signing. Okay.
And they have the book now already signed.
They do. Okay, now hold up your tool belt and explain what that's all about, too, while Bob is here adjusting cameras.
Okay. Well, I am known as America's mindset mechanic, and that is because I use these tools metaphorically. And as the wife of a United States Marine, I found myself doing a lot of maintenance myself while he was gone. So I got these pretty flowered tools to really inspire me when I did those chores. And then I started using them metaphorically as a way to tune up my thoughts at the same time. So for instance,
how does a hammer tune up your thoughts? Go ahead.
Well, the hammer is after you've used the other tools and you're ready to hammer in a better feeling thought and the framework for success, you can use the hammer.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of other things that come to mind sometimes when you got the hammer in your hand.
I suspect that's the case, yes.
People say, oh, I know how to use that.
But you literally, okay, go ahead, explain the other
And the first one is the level, because the level monitors your mood. Because what happens is your emotions and thoughts guide the way you feel, and if you're not feeling good, your actions typically reflect that, and you don't go the direction you want. So we want the level to stay level, and when it's tilting, then we have all the other tools to take care of that. And Mitchell's Hardware also has this self-help do-it-yourself kit, because people get a free download of my ebook called Handle Everything, 8 Tools You Need to Live Well and Prosper, that uses these tools for everything in your life, your relationships, finances, everything.
Now you counsel, you talk to kids basically, but to adults as well, about the emotions and how to keep level and how to hammer things in. But you do that, don't you? And they're military children. That's with whom you speak, basically, right?
It is. Although I am a volunteer coach for the Girls on the Run program at Pamlico County, so I do non-military kids as well.
You're from Oriental?
I am.
Okay, you came in from Oriental this morning. How did you get interested in this? You were born into a military family, but what motivated you to write the Military Kids Speak? How do you help these kids? I mean,
well, what motivated me to do this, I feel like I was drafted at birth into a Navy family. I chose to marry a United States Marine. So one day I just came out of a meditative state and said, wow, you know, military kids are the unsung heroes. They're just along for the ride. And it's time for the world to know that they are not brats. These are kids who day in and day out are trying to figure out, what should I say to my dad before I say goodbye to him? What can I say to him when he comes home after I say hello, not knowing how he's changed, and dealing with moves and making new friends. And they're just amazing young ambassadors. And ambassador feels a lot better to a mom than brat. So I thought it's time to hear it in their voice, because they have, the first half of this book is essays. I had an essay contest with the kids around the world, and I took the best essays, and that's the first half of the book. And so you hear it in
that's
their
exciting
words.
Too. I want to mention that April is Military Kids Month, and Julie Marie Rahm is a guest on our program this morning talking about that, helping with the emotions of military kids and guiding them through their life. They are the unsung heroes. And you counsel and you help with Skype. I mean, you do Skype, you do individuals and groups and stuff, right?
I do. With kids around the world, wherever they are, we can always find each other on Skype. That way we can even see each other and talk if I'm not doing it locally in person through activities and things.
Like, I just opened your book, Military Kids Speak About Living Abroad. See, that's something that, you know, the kids would need some help with that. I mean, they may travel much more, but they're young. They can't stay in school, in the same school, maybe. they can't stay in school, the same class or the same school as much as other kids because they're moving all the time? I mean, this is a constant emotional turmoil, really, isn't it?
It is. Adversity and change. And so even adults that have no ties to military families are really enjoying the book because the military kids give great advice about how to handle adversity and change, and the world is full of that right now.
Yeah, it is. And proceeds from the book go to help the kids, right?
They do. It's totally my philanthropy.
It
I'm
is.
giving all the money I make back to programs like the National Military Family Association.
Your husband is at Camp Lejeune or Cherry Point or where?
He is recently retired from Cherry Point.
Really? Okay,
Yes,
great.
he is.
Great. Retired Marine.
Retired Marine.
Excellent.
26 years.
No
It's
kidding.
a great life.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm sure. And always a Marine.
Always
So
a
not
Marine.
a former Marine. He's a retired Marine.
Yes, he is.
He's a retired Marine. Where do you speak, and how do you schedule? How could folks contact you if they want to really talk to you, Julie, about what you do and maybe work with some kids?
Well, they can find me. They can email me through the website at militarykidspeak.com. Is probably the best way.
Okay.
militarykidspeak.com. Just go to the contact and email me there.
How did you get these famous people here? Talk about some of the famous people. I mean,
Oh, it was
Newt
so
Gingrich,
much
how's
fun.
that working? How'd you do that?
You know, Phil, I just think the force was with me. That's how I got Mark Hamill, for one thing.
Wow.
And I still don't know how I got him. I tried so many different avenues. And with Newt, I just kept working on his communications director and giving him the benefits, telling him what the book was about, how it was going. And then one day, Newt decided he'd have me up, and we did he even videoed the interview for a half hour.
He did.
And he was so surprising for me to interview because I didn't know him.
Yeah.
And he was so real with me. And there was a moment, Phil, where I even got a crocodile tear out of him when he was talking about his childhood.
You're kidding.
No, these are stories that we've never heard from Shaq and Newt and all these celebrities.
I love the way you
in book,
refer to them,
Eloise.
Newt and Shaq.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
it's all about being real and authentic. And in order for them to be relatable to the kids.
And you
it's gotta
sought
be
them
like that.
out.
I did.
And they were receptive. I mean, forgive me, but that's amazing to me that these, they were receptive. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
they were, because they love the military life. They know how great it was for them, and they want to help the kids today see how to look at it and have the perspective that it can be really, really great for them too.